We head to the Hawaiian Island of Maui to visit the Lahaina, Kaanapali, and Pacific, also known as the Sugarcane Train. This train carries tourists on a line from Lahaina to Kaanapali and return. This railroad grade was built in the spring of 1970 using second-hand 60-pound rail rolled in Germany in 1920 and last used by the now abandoned Kahului Railroad. The Pioneer Mill Railway was a 30-inch gauge line, while the LK&P is 36-inch gauge. Here we see the train returning to Lahaina. At the Lahaina station, the engines are spun on this mechanical turntable, while on the other side of the line the trains run around a loop track. Myrtle No. 3 is one of 2 steam locomotives the Sugarcane Train uses. It was built to resemble a locomotive of early 1900s vintage with an electric headlight and straight stack. It was shipped to Hawaii about a year behind Anaka. When it entered service in 1971, it was determined that swapping tenders between the locomotives was impractical, and a second-hand whaleback tender from Kahului Railroad engine number 11 found on the island was acquired and restored for use with it. It was damaged and repaired in September 2006 after it was hit by a dump truck at a grade crossing. Passengers prepare to board the train at Puhukoli Station. While waiting for the train, one can see a sugarcane field, along with the beautiful scenic views of the beachfront along the Pacific Ocean. Now we ride on board to view the shops and facilities as we negotiate the loop track in Kaanapali. We listen to the train's guide as he explains what we see.
This is a water well. This is where they pump fresh water from beneath the earth up to the sugar field. This is where they get the irrigation water from. Now there's several of these alongside the shoreline. This is where they get irrigation water for the fields. is our Kahului Roundhouse, or train yard. Again, this is where we maintain our properties from, our train station and everything. Our locomotives get maintained here. Again, the other locomotive in the shop is called Anaka. Anaka meaning Angus. There's 2 steam operable engines here in the state, and they're right here. We also have a diesel locomotive.
The first 3 coaches built for use on the Sugarcane Train are replicas of the Kalakaua-style coaches that ran on the Big Island in the 1880s. They were built by Harless Specialties Corporation of Pittsburgh and are built of fiberglass bodies on steel flat cars. Additional replica coaches have since been built. We watch as the train makes a water stop at the Kaanapali station. train crosses a magnificent trestle within a golf course near Lahaina. This bridge is named the Hahakia Trestle, and we view a trackside scene along with an onboard view crossing the trestle.
Sugar. Then they spin it, drying it out, creating a crystal, which is the raw brown sugar. And that's all we produce here in Hawaii was raw brown sugar. Everything is shipped off to Crockett, California. They refine it. We take the pure white granulated sugar. When it comes back to Hawaii, it's packed in a pink and white box and bag labeled C and H, California and Hawaii. Now, the reason why they stopped growing some of them, there's many reasons. Maybe some of them we don't know, but some of them are like on the mainland. Several states are growing sugar beets. It's a lot sweeter, easier to process. Because here in Hawaii, again, we take 2 years for processing. Some raw brown sugar. Maybe there's other that I don't know about. Some of the basic Hawaiian sugar cane being eliminated in the state. And again, these fields, like up on the hill, you see on the right, again, sugar. This is corn. Yeah. Kaanapali meaning rolling cliff. Started to take shape back in the mid-1950s, and this is what they produce today. Hotels, condominiums, golf courses, homes all privately owned for the rich, richest and the filthy rich.
Bringing our show to an end, we see Myrtle heading back to the station at Lahaina.